It's 7:16 a.m. Traffic is building up on 75 and 635. We're coming to you live on the ones and twos, and it's time to talk about podcast. Talking about itty bitty podcast. Talking about podcast.
Merry Mini Monday Chunkies. I'm Carter.
I'm Doge.
And it's Jordan for the Two Chunks Morning Show. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks.
This does sort of feel like a morning show sometimes, huh? With the way that some of us might accidentally set an alarm for PM and then roll straight out of bed to sit in front of their microphone.
You know,
Straight
it doesn't normally feel like a morning show, but there's nothing like that classic morning show trope of somebody setting their alarm for 5:50 p.m.
Yeah.
That to really make something feel like it is in fact a morning show.
That's
So
probably my
I'm glad you
favorite
brought
part
that
of
up.
That's my favorite part of every morning show.
I'm glad you
when
brought
they're
that
like,
up, yeah.
When they have to be like, who did it today? And then it's, you know,
Who did it today?
They're like, Deborah.
yeah.
I'd say Billy Crudup is my favorite part of morning show. Every morning show. On the topic of shows, let's just first. I just want to talk about The Last of Us. Can we just go ahead and do that?
Yes, please.
Yes. Yep.
I'm tired of not talking about The Last of Us.
Carter, I want to know what you thought about it as a, you didn't play the game, but you have watched others play the game. Yes.
I've watched other people play the game. Yes.
Okay.
I've had a secondhand immersive experience, also known as a video game watch. I get way too stressed with things like that. People used to come watch me in the dorms, like try and play BioShock because it was just funny to them. But I can't separate myself from the computer generated people.
Sure.
But I thought it was wonderful. I think it was smart. It felt like not a frame for frame, but it felt very, very similar.
Dude, there were times that it was kind of frame for
pretty
frame.
dang close to frame for frame. Yeah.
Which is great. I don't think that's something that they're going to do the entire show. I wouldn't care if they did.
Mm-hmm.
But that was such a flex for me because so we've talked a lot about video games like IP making its way to like TV and film, and Last of Us feels different.
Yes.
In that it feels it's not as much anymore about being like, hey, by the way, did you know this was a video game? It's like, hey, it's good storytelling that is like this gets me excited. Like maybe there'll be a God of War someday. You know, it's kind of
I
like
think Amazon Studios is talking about that, right?
wow.
Didn't I remember
not
seeing
sure.
that? That God
Drop
of
a
War's been
bill,
shopped out
another
to
billion.
Amazon Studios. Yeah.
But
You know,
it's just phenomenal. It's really
I think the
good
big
so far.
difference between stuff we've gotten in the past and what you're talking about, Carter, is that they don't just have a good showrunner. They have the showrunner of the last few years in Craig Mazin. But then on top of that, they have Neil Druckmann, who was behind all of The Last of Us from the beginning.
They kept
and
so
then
much of the crew that made the game.
Also, I believe that Craig Mazin wanted to do this because he was a fan of the games, from what I have read. And
That's
so,
awesome.
like, what you have is not just somebody saying, you're good at making shows, do this. You have, hey, the guy who's the best at making shows already likes this thing. Let's go with that.
I think to me, the restraint is that they're not trying to replicate gameplay moments in the show. Like, I think there was a big fuss over that sequence in the Halo show. I didn't watch the Halo show, but I even saw this. Like, people made a huge deal about the first person sequence in the Halo show, complete with like a player UI and everything like that, to really try to make you feel like you were playing Halo. And it just, the overall consensus was that it didn't work. I think in The Last of Us, we replicated gameplay camera angles, specifically when Sarah's in the back of the car and they're escaping Austin. But there was a moment, like right at the end of the episode, when Ellie pulls out her backpack and starts digging through it. And I had the thought of like, oh, she's going to start crafting, like how you craft in The Last of Us. And I was like, that I think would ruin it for me if they like got super, super dedicated to be like, okay, yeah, like in this sequence, Joel is trying to creep around a clicker, but he's going to pull out his backpack and build a pipe bomb really quick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think if they like got super, super intent on replicating gameplay, that would maybe break it for me.
I think that is for sure going to happen at some point. I think without a doubt, Ellie is going to make a pipe bomb from her backpack in a very intense moment. I think without a doubt, they're going to find a workbench in a garage and he's going to, make some bullets hollow point or something. I think we're going to get elements of that. I don't think the issue is doing things that happened in the game. I think the issue is when you shoehorn it versus make it natural.
Right.
Because if there's a tense situation and Ellie has been gathering stuff the whole time and strapped some stuff together so that she can make essentially a pipe bomb or or a Molotov cocktail to throw at something real quick in a tense moment, that doesn't break my immersion.
Right.
What breaks my immersion is, frankly, if you're going to recreate the gameplay of The Last of Us, then you have to recreate slowly sneaking around a room full of clickers and dying probably 2 to 3 times and starting over again. Which
opening every single drawer to see if you can find half a pair of scissors.
Sure,
a single scissor. Yeah.
But from the perspective of somebody who has played both Part 1 and Part 2 and absolutely adores both 1 and Part 2, I felt like I was at Disney World the whole time that I watched this show.
Have you been there, Carter? I think you'd love it.
You'd probably really enjoy it. It
Disney
felt
World?
like,
Yeah.
I've never been to any kind of park like that.
So it's in the same way that Disney, you walk around just in awe at the level of detail and care taken to recreate something that you loved. That's what it felt like watching this show to me. Just the shot for shot moments, the visual details like the backpacks and the clothing, even things like is it Gabriel Luna who plays Tommy? Is that right?
Yeah.
He sounds exactly like Tommy from the game. I actually was like, this isn't the voice, is it?
It is the same Marlene from the game.
Yeah, same Marlene from the game, but not the same Tommy.
Also, it's very much worth, HBO does the thing where it's like the after the credits, we'll talk about the show kind of thing. And they've done that forever.
They are
it was
also
around
doing
the time
a weekly podcast.
Yeah,
about The Last
I think
of Us.
that's worth doing.
So first of all, let me just say, HBO, who do you think you are? Trying to jump in the podcast game, think, oh, we made a cool zombie show. Now we can do this too.
Yeah, for real.
I'm really curious how this works for people who are not, who were in no way exposed to the game or the story of The Last of Us before this.
Doesn't matter. I don't think.
Good news. I have friends.
Okay,
they love it.
Good.
They love it.
I think there is no one in my life that has not participated in The Last of Us in some way before this. So I have no one to ask.
What it seems like is that if you haven't played the games and you don't know where it's going, the general consensus I've seen both in people I know in real life and online seems to be that it was really, really well made, really, really well acted. The music was awesome. Interested to see where it goes because so far it doesn't seem, other than the opening, doesn't seem like stuff we haven't seen before. So and which I get, because if you don't know The Last of Us and you don't know where the story is going, then a zombie apocalypse with a potential immunity cure is not new. 2 people hitting the post-apocalyptic open road is not new.
Yeah.
And so, because I had to explain to a good friend who was asking me questions, he was like, man, the most interesting part so far seems to be Joel and Ellie, but I'm not sure where the world and story are going. And I was like, well, I have good news, man. The world and story is nothing. Like The Last of Us, nothing matters except Joel and Ellie and their relationship. So that's it. You got it.
Strong start, by the way. We obviously we've got some ringers here, but yeah, I was thinking about, I would bet 99% of the people that were into Game of Thrones and early Game of Thrones didn't read the books, so it's not like, I'm sure that's the same kind of vibe in terms of being able to enjoy Last of Us without playing the video game.
For sure.
I had a friend ask me, how much is it like Walking Dead? And I said 52%, there's some,
sure.
It's just barely, I don't know. I told him it was Walking Dead is the XFL and Last of Us is the NFL.
Well, I think one of the biggest differences is
better story.
You will probably get, I bet people that are in it for zombies will be disappointed at how few there will be in this show. I don't think we're going to get very many infected almost at all, because that's really not what the story's about.
Right. Also, Pedro Pascal is everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's an easy transition, but the Mandalorian season 3 trailer dropped very recently. And here's the thing too. We talked about Game of Thrones. I forget he's Prince Oberyn. Like, that's when I first got introduced to
That's funny
Pedro
that
Pascal.
Him and Bella Ramsey were both in Game of Thrones, but Oberyn and Lyanna Mormont didn't overlap at all. So they met for the first time on the set of The Last of Us.
How fun is that?
And we're like, hey, remember when we were both in that show at different times?
And they were both kind of just interesting B characters, which is fun.
Yeah.
Becoming, I think I might have said it already, but Comic-Con demigods.
For real.
For sure.
Just absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the Mando. Season 3 trailer. How are we feeling? The trailer, it was a good trailer.
It is a good trailer.
And I think with the mess that has been a lot of Star Wars content, and again, we'll talk about Andor actually in a little bit, because that seems to be something that people say, no, wait, trust me. And even in the award show season, it's being recognized for some pretty legitimate stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of Mando, I will watch it.
Yeah, same.
But it's like one of the last things that I've still kind of hitched my wagon to. How do you feel about it? Why do I feel worried?
Honestly,
about Mando season 3?
I feel so similar. It's not going to be like Mando season 2 came out. I was counting down the days. I was like, I can't wait. And I loved season 2. And I think the ending of Mandalorian season 2 is like maybe my favorite hour of Star Wars in the last 5 or 6 years. And then like, I feel like all the potency and power of that last episode was completely gutted by immediately undoing it halfway through a show about a different character.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Boba Fett is going to be, there's not any more.
More
book of
is
Boba
not
Fett,
more.
Right?
There was supposed to be, I believe, but
I know there was.
They're going to.
I would be shocked if they did.
That's a bummer, because we knew that Mando season 3 was coming. You know, we had the big Grogu decision that he had made, and the opportunities to go to Mandalore and all that stuff. And so I was like, that's right. These things are coming. And I knew it, and now they're here.
Far more interesting for Din to have to go through the majority of this season alone and choose, like, am I going to be the like cold, closed off person I was, or am I going to be more open like I was with Grogu? Is Grogu like the key to me being who I am? And even at the end of the season to discover, yes, he is, and like go get him, or like have Grogu come back at the end of the season. But like having it immediately undone in the middle of a different show is like the wildest narrative choice to me.
I guarantee somebody at Disney was like, yeah, dude, you can't have Mando without Grogu. He's your mascot. So find a way to get him back by episode 1, because he's got to be in every episode.
He's Disney's Minions. Where it's like he has to be on everything.
That's one of the tough things to me, is the business side of it. And it's obviously, it's a business. It's Disney. And, we are going to Disney World again it's going to be the second time we've ever been. No, I'm losing count. We love Disney World. The Willises love Disney World. And I will see Grogu everywhere. I remember after season 1 of Mando, like that was the thing. And Star Wars forever has been so much also about the merch, right? That's where Lucas made the majority of his money? Like he made way more off of toys and clothes and stuff and games than the movies. And so just knowing that, like, was that Favreau's plan? Probably, because they also feel like a team. And so it's like Grogu's going to always be around. I don't know. It's not like, it doesn't feel like Groot to me. It's like Groot's a I don't know.
No, I agree. He's a mascot, not really a character yet. But I mean, it's still Favreau and Filoni, so like it's still in good hands.
That's the hope. Yeah.
But
legitimately them.
It's
not them being
just to level with you guys, and I suppose our listeners as well. I'm not in a vacuum. I'm not excited about this. Just because it's the same reason I can't bring myself to watch Andor. I'm sure it's good, but it's still Star Wars, which has I'm just done. I think I'm over it. It hasn't tainted my love of old Star Wars, but like I don't know, man. There's only so many times that I can get pumped and then bummed over and over again about the same franchise.
Yeah. That line in the trailer that's like, there's something coming out there that's even too big for you, or whatever that line is. It's like, okay, are we talking about the First Order?
The First Order.
Because that kind of was just a fart and fall down. Like, I'm not, there's nothing threatening coming. We know what's happening next. And ultimately, like, the stakes are so
low.
It's the prequel thing of like, with any prequel, the stakes are kind of low, but especially if the thing that it's a prequel to isn't particularly good. It's just like, oh, okay, great. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyways, there's just so many. I wanted us to have a little bit of a conversation, and we'll talk to the Shrinking trailer soon about. We mentioned Andor. We've had a conversation recently, too, about Severance and how I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
there is so much TV. I think sometimes I find out, like, the fall ends, and I'm like, man, can't wait till next fall when all these shows come back. And then I forget all the things that are in the spring. Oh, and then there's the summer things. Oh, and I've never heard of this, and we'll talk about Shrinking. But we watched the trailer for Shrinking, and if you haven't heard of this, I think there is something fun about, with there being such a dense amount of not just new shows, but good new shows. There's something fun about catching the premiere of one and kind of being there at the beginning. It's not like the underground band or anything that you had like in high school, but it definitely feels like, oh, I'm in. I was not of the first crew of Ted Lasso. Chelsea was watching Ted Lasso, and then she got about 7 episodes in. And she was like, you have to watch this. At some point, I thought I didn't like Jason Sudeikis. I was like, I don't think I like him.
Whoa.
I won't
stand for that kind of Jason
she was like,
slander
you're crazy.
On this podcast.
Yeah. And then I was like, you're right. I'm crazy. But fortunately, Brett Goldstein has decided he's going to make the Infinity Jason Gauntlet, and we're going Jason Segel. And Shrinking looks really good to me. I think I'm very much excited for this.
I'm very interested in this. This is, awesome. If you don't know Shrinking, it's Harrison Ford's first comedy and first TV comedy. Series creators are the same as Ted Lasso. So like Bill Lawrence, who also did Scrub stuff, pitched the script to Harrison Ford, sent him the script for episode 1. Kind of like just a rough script of episode 1. And Harrison Ford, I know, they were just like, let's see if we can get him. And Harrison Ford was like, I really like this. This is really funny. And Bill Lawrence was like, wow, thank you. And Harrison Ford's like, if I do this, am I going to be in the second episode more? And Bill Lawrence was like, oh, yeah, we can make you like as big of a part as you want. And I think, you'd have a great time. It would be you, and Jason Segel's already attached to this. And Harrison Ford goes, who is that? He had no idea who Jason Segel was. And so they sent him some Jason Segel DVDs. And then Harrison Ford said, yes, I'd like to do this.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I really like Jason Segel like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think that his sort of, I don't know, he has this way of playing sad sack characters that makes them not depressing to watch, but you root for them instead. He frequently plays kind of a sad sack who's on the mend, and he's just really, really good at it. He just has this innate thing in him where you want to root for Jason Segel, and
it's because he has sad eyes. I think he's got Basset Hound eyes.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're just like, oh, buddy.
But man, the trailer looked really great. I'm excited for that. I didn't know to be excited for that until I watched that trailer, but I think I'm really excited.
Looks real fun.
Yeah, same. Brett Goldstein, in being one of the creators, I think I've decided is one of the most emotionally intelligent people in Hollywood right now. If y'all have never listened to it, I endorse Films to Be Buried With.
Yep.
It's a podcast he's had for a long time. There might be a lot of guests that he has that don't sound familiar. It's heavy on the British side. Yeah. So a lot of the times it would be British celebs that we don't know too much about. But it's a really fun concept, and it's certainly not, what is his, why can't I think of his character
so early?
Yeah. It's not Roy.
But I think you're right, though. I think he is
of Roy.
Super emotionally intelligent, which is what keeps his portrayal of Roy from being in a cartoon.
Yes.
Because Roy could easily be just like Oscar the Grouch, which actually he was on Sesame Street recently. So.
Oh, really? That's fun.
Yeah. But Roy could easily be a cartoon and he's not. Ted Lasso also, season 3 is confirmed for a spring 2023 premiere. They announced a release window yesterday.
Yeah, we just watched over Christmas time. We watched the Christmas episode. Where they go to dinner.
So good, dude.
But Roy in that episode, I mean, it's such a ridiculous subplot with Roy and Keely and his niece about her it's halitosis or something. She has bad breath.
Yeah.
And it's such a ridiculous subplot that it's the perfect example of what you're talking about. It could have been cartoonish, and it could have been. It could have even been insensitive, I think. But instead, it's this weirdly sweet parody of Love Actually that plays out.
Yep.
And he's very kind but also very funny. And Roy Kent is one of the more interesting characters on television right now, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Brett is going to be able to do a good job. Jordan, I'm glad you said could have been insensitive, right? But it wasn't. He kind of toes the line a little bit, not necessarily like how a stand-up comedian would do.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like tiptoeing up to the line. It seems like an intentional, clear avoidance of the line in order to talk about people. Like in order to paint his relationship with his niece as being sweet, they don't tiptoe up to the line of hurting this little girl's feelings. Yeah. They're very kind. I don't know. It's refreshing in as somebody who consumes a lot of comedy of different varieties. I do and have grown tired of mean comedy.
Yeah. I feel like Brett
watching
and the
a
crew,
lot of British TV, British panel shows and those things. And those people make fun of each other constantly, and it's never mean-spirited, ever. And even as the audience, you're never for a moment like, ooh, they do not like each other.
Nobody's
I don't know.
the target.
Yeah, no. Yeah. The butt of the joke is usually something that has been freely offered and not picking at a wound. I don't know. I really appreciate
I like
that in a lot of ways. It's too easy to just dogpile and kick somebody who's down.
Yeah. All that to say, I feel like this crew is going to do a fine job talking about therapy. It's like the content of Shrinking is a grieving therapist that's just going to shoot people straight and kind of go against the grain of what is legal within that context from what I was picking up.
Even in Scrubs, Bill Lawrence, there's always been a focus on therapy and therapists in his shows, at least, some episodes here and there. I'm a huge Scrubs fan. I've watched all of it many times. And I just think that Bill Lawrence has such a good eye for the way that people tick, like what makes people tick. And so I think a show like this is perfect.
I don't think I've seen a single episode of Scrubs, unless maybe you had it on in our apartment in college.
I'm sure
never seen an
Liam
episode
and I
of
used to
Scrubs.
watch Scrubs together quite a bit. But man, you should. It really, really is good. The first 4 seasons are in 4x3. So,
ooh, I'm out. Wait, did Zack Snyder direct them?
Yeah, they're in black and white.
Okay, I'm back in.
They reshot a lot of Scrubs in Zack Snyder's backyard. And hey, get this. It's good this time, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm in. I'm back in 100%. Did he hold the camera himself?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, fine.
Jared Leto.
I'm a true Kino. Of course I'm going to love it.
He was the first person to hold the camera himself, the first director. Chunkies, go watch the trailer for Shrinking. And it airs, the first episode airs on Apple TV Plus Friday. This coming Friday.
Oh, wow.
January 27th. Yep. So that's the kind of stuff that tends to happen to me a lot, it feels. It's like, wow, this well-produced, awesome thing that I'm interested in. I wonder when, okay.
Oh, it comes tomorrow. In 30 minutes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be ready for that. Wonderful. Let's take a quick ad break.
With Tim Hortons 2 hot breakfast sandwiches for $6 deal, you can mix and match your favorites. Mix and match between savory sausage or naturally hickory smoked bacon. Mix and match between an English muffin or flaky biscuit. Any 2 served with a freshly cracked egg and melted cheese. You can even mix and match how you share it. 1 for you, 1 for them, 2 for them, or 2 just for you. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. It's time for Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Single item at regular price. Modifications and tax extra. Additional terms apply.
At Kroger, we believe fresh means holding all our produce to a higher standard. To make sure a bad apple won't spoil the whole bunch, we do up to a 27-point inspection on our fruits and veggies. We check for things like sunburns and scarring, making sure you only get the crunchiest apples. In fact, only the best produce like juicy pears, zesty oranges, and crisp carrots reach our shelves. Because when it comes to fresh for everyone, we want our fruits and veggies to be the apple of your eye. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Download Upside and start getting cash back wherever you roll. It's like having your own hype man. Get an average of 17% cash back at restaurants.
Oh, it's dinner time.
Average of 13% on groceries.
Get those groceries.
10 cents per gallon average cash back on gas.
It's go time.
Plus, cash back at participating convenience stores too.
Stacks on stacks.
Users can earn hundreds of dollars a year, 3 times more than other apps.
Upside, show me that money.
All right, we get it. It's easy. Just sign up for the free Upside app and start getting cash back for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code DOYOU10 for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code DOYOU10 for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Get cash back for doing you with the free app from Upside.
And we're back. One little last conversation about television. What is a show that you feel like everybody's talking about or you hear all about and it just eludes your grasp? I think we've talked about before being these movie podcast boys that someone will be like, you've never seen what? Yes, I haven't. Do you realize how much content is out there for movies and especially TV? I mean, we're churning out television shows a lot quicker and more frequently than movies. There's just a lot more out there. Is there what's the one show that you're maybe going to see someday, but you just haven't?
I'll keep it current because I think there's nothing less interesting than me being like, I haven't seen Band of Brothers. And you guys
I've never
Band of
watched
Brothers,
The
really?
Sopranos.
Right. Succession just has not made it to the front burner for me yet.
You wrong for that.
I know. And see, this is the one where you both say you're wrong.
You
for
sound
that,
just
and then
like
somebody
them,
else will
Jordan.
talk, and then we'll say you're wrong for that.
Yep. Well, mine. I don't think anybody will say we're wrong for that because I don't think any of us have watched it. Andor is.
Our Discord is saying you're wrong for that.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are. I just can't bring myself to do it yet. I'm sure I will eventually. But and then in other circles of my life, Yellowstone. But I don't think I'll ever watch that. So
you know who's the head writer on Yellowstone?
Taylor Sheridan. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that until
So
last
part of
night.
me is like, wait a minute.
That would be
should I watch it?
Honestly, the only thing that could get me to watch it is that Taylor Sheridan wrote it.
I haven't seen Severance. I haven't seen Ozark. I haven't seen
I did one season of Ozark, and then season 2 was the same as season 1, and I bailed.
Andor. Sometimes when life is already serious enough, I just need to go to Casa Amor. I don't need to dive deep into the fragility of life. I want to go see people crack on Love Island or watch RuPaul's Drag Race. So
yeah,
I get that.
I feel bad about it, but I'm
wait till you get to
watch
Ozark
those shows.
season 3, though.
I don't feel bad about it. One of my most repeated phrases is
I'm saying I don't feel bad about not seeing those other shows.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I also don't
wave
feel
my
bad about it.
Love Island. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. One of my most repeated phrases is, "Oh yeah, I'll add it to the list." There's no list. I'm lying because I don't want to tell you that I'm not interested in the show you just told me about. So I added it to my list. I know every show. You're not going to tell me about a show I haven't heard about. If I haven't watched it,
projectile vomit.
So mad.
Guys, it's January. It's January 23rd. January 23rd in the Two Chunks podcast.
As the crow flies.
It's not the date of this very day. Feels like something's missing. You ever felt like something's missing in your life?
I know what
23
this is
days
about
into
to
a
be.
new year.
I know what this is about to be.
Can you believe?
Just do it.
23 days into the new year. People are clamoring. Let's do a little bit of a Star Wars Born. JK, extra credit!
The way that I believed you for a second, I was like, oh, good.
You naive, supple little babe.
Let's play extra credit. For those of you listening, It's been a while, but if you haven't heard of this game,
It's been a while
since I've seen the way. Oh man, we're about to sing that whole song. Extra Credit is a game that uses the IMDb algorithm that then abuses
the algo.
Those who partake. What we do here on Extra Credit is they're going to pick from, I'll designate a few movies that they can pick stars from, and then they have to guess as many of the top 4 credits. So if you've ever navigated IMDb before, there's always they'll show the posters of the 4 movies that these people are supposedly, movies or TV shows, that these actors or actresses are supposedly most known for. And these guys have to try and guess that. They only need 9 points to win. There'll be 3 actors that they will choose out of the pool of movies that I give them. And really, they need to only average 3 of the 4 of those top credits. If they get the 4th credit for any actor, all of them correct, they get an extra credit, hence the name. So you can get up to 15 points. All you need are 9. We're going to do a special Mr. E version of Extra Credit today, meaning you can choose from Glass Onion. You can choose from tomorrow's episode, Wind River. You're even welcome to choose from next week. Is the game next week?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The game. You can then choose from
The Nice Guy.
The Nice Guys. So there's a lot of big names here in these here movies. Is there a specific place that you guys would want to start?
You want to start
our
with the Goose
episode
Man?
tomorrow?
The Goose Man himself?
I was going to say Russell Crowe. We might be able to get Russell.
I don't think we can.
From The Nice Guys?
Let me think.
Gladiator, Beautiful
Yeah.
Mind,
Yeah.
Les Miserables.
You think?
Yeah.
I love the confidence.
I do think.
No, I do. I for sure
Play
think.
along at home.
think
Just
a
play
lot.
along at home.
I can go Russell Crowe.
You can play along how Adam plays along, which is just looks to see
Just look
how
it up.
right or wrong people are. Yeah.
Yep.
Are we going with Russell Crowe?
I want to, I'm down to take a
Let's do
flight
it.
with the Crow.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Go for it. What's our first guess here, Bowie?
Gladiator. Lock it in.
I'm not Gladiator. I thought she was nice, and I'm sad she's gone. But Doge seems pretty
Sad
Gladiator.
she's gone.
Gladiator, he hardly knew her.
Ah,
Jordan, you want to lock in?
yeah, locking.
Bing, 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 bing.
Number 1.
Number 2. The number 2 credit. Yeah, and they're a little bit shocked because the way the IMDb algorithm works, too, is not only are there 4 credits up there that they're best known for, they're in order of what is best known for. So you would think maybe a movie like Gladiator
Beautiful
would have
Mind.
been the number 1, but
Yeah, it's a beautiful mind.
Beautiful Mind.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
bing, 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 bing. Number 3.
Les Miserables.
Sure, lock it in.
Lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 1.
That's ridiculous.
You must remember her name. Do not forget me. That's the special going through puberty version of Javert. Do not forget me.
Oh man.
Stars in the multitude. That was too good, I think. You got 3 for 3 so far.
I know,
If you can
we got
pick up
one
that
more
last
guess.
one. You're going to start off 2023 with actual legitimate extra credit. What?
There's no chance it's Robin Hood, right?
Oh. Maybe.
See, I think there's actually a chance that it is, in fact, the Nice Guys.
That's what I was thinking too, because it demonstrates, like, I don't know. I mean, anytime I try to apply logic, it's like, yeah, it's this one because of
Yeah, it's
this.
hard.
It doesn't make sense.
hard.
But
You were already
there's
on the wrong
nothing
track when
showing
you
he
said
can be
demonstrates.
funny.
I don't think it's Robin Hood. It can't be.
There is a cool part where he shoots an arrow through somebody's throat,
That is
which
cool.
was pretty cool. Overall, the movie was not good, but that
Yeah.
was really cool.
Dude, when I saw it in theaters when I was young, I thought it was good.
Let's guess the nice guys.
I think I'm leaning the nice guys, yeah.
The nice guys. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Bong Bong.
Yeah.
First Bong Bong of the year.
That tracks.
Number 1 for him is Les Miserables. Number 2 is Gladiateur. Number 3 is A Beautiful Mind. Number 4 is... it's like I'm a French robot. Number 4 is L.A. Confidential.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
L.A. Confidential. 1997. He played Bud White. It sounds like someone asking for a beer. Like a 2-year-old asking for a beer.
Can I please have a Bud White?
Please.
Can I please have a Bud White?
Please, I'm just very thirsty. Give me a Bud White, please.
Bartender, do you have any wimes?
Come on, Wasso.
Bartender, do you have any wimes for my Bud White?
Wime? You put wimes in your Bud White?
Bud White, por favor.
That's weird. Okay, we could do that forever. Well, who's your next actor or actress?
Is it boring to do 2 from the nice guys? Because I still think
I don't
we
think
get
so.
the goose.
No, do what you want.
I still think we
born
can
to
get
try
the
and
goose man.
win.
Honk.
You want to do the goose man? Let's do the goose man.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was
all
clear.
All of his
sorry.
ease.
I don't speak. I'm not fluent. I'm not fluent.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with the obvious. Why
Ryan
don't we?
Gosling, by the way, guys. I don't know if we've said his actual name. His actually name, Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
Which you gonna lock in?
La la.
Yeah.
Lock it in. La la lock it in.
La La Land. Who actually, they play Spider-Man.
Bing. Number 1.
Yeah.
You have 4 points. You are on the right track.
The Notebook. It's gonna be there.
Yeah.
The Notebook. Lock it in.
Lock it in. If you're a goose, I'm a goose.
Bong Bong.
Shut. Good.
Ooh.
You know what?
Hey.
I'm not even mad about it. I'm glad.
Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, that's
You
for
think?
sure there. Yeah. 100%.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Bing. Number 3.
Crazy Stupid Love is a real chance.
A real chance. Drive is a real chance.
Oh, it's Drive. It's for sure Drive.
You think it's Drive over Crazy
do.
Stupid Love?
Well, we have 2 slots left, so there's a good chance.
Yeah,
it's
it could be
both.
both of those, yeah.
But I think Drive.
Which one do you want to guess?
I think Drive
Drive.
for sure.
Lock
Drive,
it in.
Bing. Number 4. Very good. So you got 3 from here too. You'll have to get 3 from that last actor or actress from that. Number 1, La La Land. Number 2, Blue Valentine.
Okay.
Blue Valentine. Number 3, Blade Runner. Number 4, Drive.
Nice.
He's Kay, Driver, Dean, and then Sebastian. So he showed his layers a little bit in terms of names.
In terms of syllables.
In terms of syllables in La La Land. Who's the last one? Who's that last actor or actress to try and win extra credit the first time you've played it all year? Remember, we have Wind River here. We've got The Game. We've got Glass Onion. A lot of choices over there in Glass Onion.
Mm-hmm. That's where my brain is currently flitting about.
Nah, I don't think we could get any of them because everybody in there is like either been in this and like one other thing and then a bunch of weird like stuff we wouldn't know about, or like is in
Talking about Glass
Avenger or
Onion?
a James. There's a high number of Avengers and James's Bond in the Glass Onion. And so I feel like there's only a few actors we should actually consider choosing from.
Yeah, but I feel like we could get Daniel Craig pretty easy. I feel like we could probably
Not
get,
a chance we could get Daniel Craig easy.
I think so.
How many James Bonds has he done?
4.
His top 4 is not all James Bond, so which one?
It's Casino Royale and Skyfall.
You seem really confident on that. I'm fine. I don't think it's going to be all Benoits and Bonds.
I think it is 1 Benoit, 2 Bonds, and a
What, like Logan
Soderbergh
Lucky?
joint. Yeah, I do. But I'm happy to go with somebody else, genuinely. I think that Catherine Hahn is a decent option. I think that...
I am not familiar with Catherine Hahn's movie work, and TV shows are not going to be
I
the
don't
top
feel
4.
confident with Kate Hudson just because the
don't either.
rom-com door is far too wide.
Leslie Odom Jr. will have this, Hamilton on Disney Plus, and then 2 movies we've never heard of.
Dude, I bet we could get Ed Norton. Let me think. Elizabeth Olsen
of
probably
choices,
wouldn't be
man.
too tough.
Hugh Grant.
Yeah, she would, absolutely. She's been in 100
Okay, you tell me.
Marvel
You
movies.
tell me, big dog. You tell me. You
No,
pick.
I'm just trying to think.
You tell me.
It's happening.
You pick. You tell me.
Guys, what are we thinking? Let's work together. Who will it be? You've mentioned Daniel Craig. You've mentioned Ed Norton.
We're getting close to mentioning everybody from every one of these movies.
I don't remember the actor's name.
That's a good start for extra credit.
His name is Gil. I don't remember his last name. Who plays Martin in Wind River? He's in Twilight and Wind River and some TV stuff.
He's a werewolf.
Yeah, he's the wheelchair werewolf in Twilight.
And that's who you'd like to do for extra credit?
He'll be Twilight, New Moon, Wind River, and one other thing, and we only need 3 to
Graham
win.
Greene.
His name's not Gil? I could have sworn it was Gil something.
It's all right. Wait.
Who plays Martin in Wind River?
I was sorry. You're right. Gil Birmingham.
Gil Birmingham. I can almost guarantee it's Twilight, New Moon, Wind River, and then one other thing. We don't have to go that route. If you'd rather go with I feel like Daniel Craig is our better option.
Don't do this now. Don't do this now. Let's go Gil. Let's do Gil.
Gil Birmingham. Let's say Gil Birmingham.
What are your guesses for Gil Birmingham?
Wind River. Lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 1.
Natch.
You have 7 points. You've got 3 shots to get 9 points.
Twilight.
3 points left.
First one?
Yeah.
Twilight, lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 2.
There you go.
Twilight, New Moon.
Twilight, New
You got
Moon.
2
Lock
shots to win it right now.
Lock it in.
Twilight, New Moon.
What'd you say?
It in.
New Moon. Lock it in.
Twilight, New Moon.
Lock it in.
Bong, bong. 1 shot.
It's got to be one of the others.
I think it's another Twilight.
Well, I hope so, because I don't know anything else he's been in.
Twilight. Eclipse.
Lock it in, baby.
Lock it in.
Bong, bong.
Hey, is it another Twilight?
Number 1, Wind River. Number 2, Twilight. Number 3, Twilight, Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Of course.
Number 4, Ringo.
Ringo?
Rango, yeah. Rango.
No, it's that movie they made about the drummer from the Beatles.
Yeah, that's why you've never heard of it. Rango. That's extra credit. You got 8 points. That's a great score.
Not a winning score, though. Just for fun, for funsies, can we take a swing at Daniel Craig? Can we take 10 seconds, take a swing at Daniel Craig?
I wish you would. I'm so excited.
Just for funsies.
Take a swing at Daniel.
Just say all 4 at once, because you think his top 4 is
I think
Knives
it's Casino
Out,
Royale, Skyrim, Knives Out, and Logan Lucky. Those would have been my 4 guesses.
Skyfall, by the way.
Skyfall.
Let's say Skyfall.
Did I say Skyrim?
I used to be a detective like you till I took an arrow to the knee.
Casino Royale, Skyfall, Knives Out, and Logan Lucky would be my 4 guesses.
Number 1, Casino Royale. Number 2, No Time to Die. Number 3, Skyfall. Number 4, Spectre. So you would have gotten 8 points that way too.
Ooh.
It is all
Bond.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's crazy.
That's
Bond.
pretty nuts.
Yeah.
I don't even think those are his best movies, personally.
Yeah,
they're
I
very,
also think
very
that's
good
gonna
movies.
They are very good movies. To end today's episode, I'd love to have your name. And then I want you to give me the title and a brief description of what would sound like would be a good show that everybody's missing right now.
Ooh.
There's just so much content out there. If someone was like, hey, have you heard of, they would believe it, right? And go look for it, only to not find it. I'm Carter, and I don't know if y'all have heard of, so Hulu's got this show. It's actually been out for a few years. It wasn't a big deal. They kind of picked it up from BBC. I think it's on BritBox too. But it's kind of I don't want to give away too much. It's called Today's Tomorrow. But it has a lot to do with, you know what? I really can't say much more than that.
That's a cop-out.
It is pretty twisty. Well, okay. So Today's Tomorrow has a lot to do with, it feels equal parts like Altered Carbon, which maybe, hopefully you've heard of that one. And then a little bit loopery. It's kind of a futuristic, live another life situation, which I've heard Severance might be a little bit like that too. But Today's Tomorrow, it's worth it. They don't have the kind of budget that some of these obviously bigger shows would, but there's rumors that they'll pick up where the season's left off, because a lot of the cast is still down to make it. It just never continued. It was one-off, one-season thing, but it's worth a look.
I'm Doge, and I don't know. Have you guys heard of the show? I think think it's a Netflix original. It's called Big Top.
No.
You haven't heard of it?
Mm-mm.
So
It's about the circus?
yeah, it is actually. It's about the kids of the Ringling Bros. It's Michael Shannon, Rainn Wilson, and Bill Hader playing three brothers who are the kids of the original.
They kind of feel like they could play brothers.
The kids of the original Ringling Bros, and they're dealing with like the backlash of like, hey, you can't use animals in that way in the circus, and it's a musical comedy.
Does sound interesting.
Man, that sounds amazing.
I'm Jordan, and there's this new joint on FXX, same channel that Fargo comes on. And it's this, it seems really interesting. It's this like mountain town where something has been spreading through the town, causing people to just take off at a dead sprint and run until exhaustion. Like they just die from exhaustion from running. They just run and run and run until they can't go anymore. And so these detectives are sort of called into the town to try and figure out what's going on. And it's kind of cool because they try and trace it through. Is it in the water line? Is it something in the air? Is there radiation? And ultimately, kind of the starting point of the story is that they end up figuring out that it's coming from livestock, like the meat that they're getting from the livestock. And they end up coming up like street name for it. They kind of call it Go Meat. And the show is called Hillshire Farms.
I'm in awe.
Do you ever hate being on this podcast with your friends?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, every day.
No, I'm in awe. That's too creative.
In fact, if I was on this podcast with anybody but the two of you, I wouldn't have had to hide the Go Meat part until the very end. I would have just said it and then. But I had to hold.
I'm over here trying to
to
think
my
of
chest.
what is speed beef? Is speed beef a joke? Is he going to make a speed beef joke? And then I realized speed beef isn't anything.
I had a fraction of a second that I was like, man, I should really go watch this show. I forgot the whole bit. I was like, shoot, that's pretty interesting. Ew.
And the trailer is just this soft piano with a little girl who's like, when I say Hillshire, you say farms. Hillshire Farms. And it's like, Go Meat.
But it's like it sounds like a
It just gives the
1920s
title.
record or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
super, super like lo-fi.
And yeah, it skips. That's the whole thing
I
at the
don't
very end of the
believe in
trailer. It's like, when I say Hillshire, 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 Hill, just over and over again as it pounds and pounds. It's scary, man. It's going to be a creepy show.
And it's like, cut to black and just call me.
Yeah.
With Tim Hortons 2 Hot Breakfast Sandwiches for $6 deal, you can mix and match your favorites. Mix and match between savory sausage or naturally hickory smoked bacon. Mix and match between an English muffin or flaky biscuit. Any two served with a freshly cracked egg and melted cheese. You can even mix and match how you share it. One for you, one for them. Two for them, or two just for you. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. It's time for Tim's. Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Single item at regular price. Modifications and tax extra. Additional terms apply.
Download Upside and start getting cash back wherever you roll. It's like having your own hype man. Get an average of 17% cash back at restaurants.
Oh, it's dinner time.
Average of 13% on groceries.
Get those groceries.
10 cents per gallon average cash back on gas.
It's go time.
Plus, cash back at participating convenience stores too.
Stacks on stacks.
Users can earn hundreds of dollars a year, 3 times more than other apps.
Upside, show me that money.
All right, we get it. It's easy. Just sign up for the free Upside app and start getting cash back for doing you. Download the free Upside app and use promo code DOYOU10 for an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. That's promo code DOYOU10 for an extra $10 on the free Upside app. Get cash back for doing you with the free app from Upside.